Kimoji, an app launched in 2015 providing users with Kim Kardashian-themed emojis and GIFs, has recently gone viral online. Software developer David Levision has recently decided to share his story behind Kimoji, claiming that Kim Kardashian stole his idea for the app after agreeing to be business partners. We caught up with David to hear his story behind the Kimoji app.
My name is David Liebenson, and I was scammed by Kim Kardashian. The deal with Kim and the emojis came about when my cousin Dan, myself, and a friend of ours, Narayan, had a phone case startup. We had a pretty large following on Instagram, and we were having a hard time keeping up with our own feed. So what we did was we created an app named Sensorgram. We put on the App Store to help manage unwanted spam and bullying, hate from any social media comment in your feeds. So we actually marketed that to a lot of high-profile accounts, and we made contact with Kim Kardashian through Jonathan Chebin. He reached out to us through Instagram direct message and reached out a few times. Finally, we set up a phone call, or he set up a phone call for Kim to call me the next day. Kim called. We had a phone, I think it was like a 40-minute phone call, and discussed many things, like how she wanted to get involved with something against bullying, and she discussed how she went to Instagram and talked to the ex-CEO Kevin Systrom about how they should use something like this before, and they said that they didn't do, they had a different way of dealing with removing comments, and they weren't interested in doing anything like that. And she said how they told him how they needed to do something bigger. Well, she approached us, and I decided to work with us. We ended up having that phone call. Then we made arrangements for the meeting face-to-face in a few weeks. So we went out to that meeting. We made all of our arrangements. We verbally agreed to go in business. 60-40 on Sensorgram, 60% us, 40% her. And then at the end of the meeting, we pitched, just for fun, side project, because we already had an emoji project, 2 emoji projects, Wall Street emojis and a racier, sexy emoji type app. And we combined those and added her and, pitched, hey, while we're doing this, just for fun, maybe it'll help fund it, Kimoji. And they loved it. From there, everything kind of changed.
Have you ever wanted to send a Kim Kardashian-inspired emoji to a friend but couldn't because they don't exist? Well, you're in luck, because the reality TV star just made your dreams come true. The 35-year-old just dropped the bombshell news that she's releasing her own range of icons appropriately called Kimojis. And as you can see, there's plenty to choose from.
So, sometime after that, a text message that apparently my partner Narayan had sent, supposed to have been private, to one of his friends, made its way to Jonathan Chebin, and Kim kept that in her pocket, I guess, to use against us because it breached her privacy, she said. Even though there was nothing harmful, but it just gave her that excuse, I guess. Well, anyways, she needed to secure the trademark, so she called us. We didn't know any of this was going on, or this, I didn't know anything this was going on with the screenshot. She called and said, hey, did you guys trademark emoji yet? We said, no, not yet. We were waiting, on it. We wanted to do it through the new company or whatever. And she said, because we were worried about Sensorgram. That was our baby. We filed a provisional patent on that. That was our main focus. Kimoji was just a side project we just did for her. So we ended up... she called us and said, hey, did you trademark emoji? We said no. We looked it up. She actually filed a trademark during that time. Her team filed a trademark during that same day. And she called back 5 minutes later and said, who's Ryan and why is he sending my private information all over Chicago? And we're like, what are you talking about? Ryan is Narayan, and she knows this, and the lawyers caught her in this lie because she had it saved, and I put evidence up of this. She had it saved with him as Ryan. I introduced him as Narayan through the emails, and then she replied back nice to meet you, Ryan, and had him saved as Ryan. From there, everything unraveled a lot more. She sent their bulldog attorney after us to basically threaten to sue us for $5 million each and lose everything we had. I had a home. I was doing fairly well at the time. You know, I busted my butt to get what I had. And they threatened to sue us, stating that we had breached something. They put some violation in there. Our new attorneys later on had found out that the violation they put in there wasn't even, it was some FCC guideline violation or something that didn't even apply to what was going on. And so they really just scared us, took advantage of us, and you know, just I was shaking, honestly. More stuff came out about it down the road. The guy that actually sent the text message intentionally to Jonathan Chebin to mess the deal up so he would give it to Kim, he admitted to this. Then after my attorney suggested I voluntarily withdraw the lawsuit, they had and try arbitration. It just didn't work out. It seemed like everything was against me, and with my own attorney suggesting that, and then none of it really making sense, I just didn't really know what to do. On top of it all, Kim and Chris kicked me while I was down and sent process servers to serve me with paperwork that I need to pay their legal fees, and they were like harassed me and my family. It was pretty brutal, the whole situation. But that's where it was left, and finally I had nothing to lose. So got to the point where I was living in my car, and I just decided, screw it, I'm gonna put a website together. I'm gonna explain everything in case I get hit by a bus and nobody knows the full story. What I hope comes from exposing Kim is that she is held accountable for these types of business practices. If I could say anything to Kim now, I would say, why did it have to be like that? You know, why couldn't you have just said, hey, you know, I don't know what happened with Ryan, but we're not gonna be able to do business this way. I'd like to move forward with this, and let's just go on our separate ways. Here's X amount of dollars for Kimoji. Done deal.
David's story is interesting and certainly has many layers. The news of the lawsuit first broke in 2019, and David's allegations against Kim Kardashian are still ongoing. This video only presents David's personal account. If you want to learn more about this case, there are many articles online regarding the lawsuit.